approached at a gas station. This experience happened when I was with my boyfriend at the time. My boyfriend and I moved to a new area closer to our workplaces, which happened to be in a very bad neighborhood. We were young and just really needed a cheap apartment. We didn't know just how dangerous the neighborhood was. I had an early morning meeting for work and needed to fill my car up with gas. When we first moved to the neighborhood, my boyfriend noticed a few blocks away that there was a gas station which looked extremely sketchy. He even made a point to say we should probably get gas somewhere else, even though it was the closest to our apartment. When I pulled in, I was the only car there, and so I began pumping my gas. While filling up the tank, I see two men walk out of the gas station convenience store, and when they see me, they both immediately turn around and go back into the store. I thought that was strange, but continued pumping. A few moments go by, and the men come back out and walk straight towards me. They start chatting with me, asking where I'm going and if I want to go to a party. I remind them it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and they just laugh and continue to try and persuade me. The position they decided to stand really made me uncomfortable. They positioned themselves in a way where they had surrounded me, and I knew that if I needed to jump in my car to get away quickly, that I wouldn't have been able to. Then, all of a sudden, another car pulls in to get gas, and the two men just sprint away, as if they had already committed a crime. I still wonder, what would have happened if that car never pulled in? Quick stop at the video store. A couple of years ago, I went to the video store with my daughter. It was around 9:45 p.m. and they were closing at 10. My daughter and I like to watch scary movies, and we got 3 different ones. We got home, and after doing a few things, we sat down and put the first movie in. A few minutes pass, and I get a text from a random number. It was about a Craigslist ad on a coffee table. I just replied, "Sorry, wrong number." They text back and said, "Oh, sorry, I hope I didn't interrupt your night." I responded with, "You're good." It was about 11 p.m. at that time. We watched the first movie. My daughter gets up to take the movie out and puts in the Blair Witch Project too. It is now currently 1 o'clock in the morning. The movie starts, we turn the lights off, and all of a sudden, I get text after text. The phone just kept buzzing with about 8 text messages coming in. I look, and it's the same number as the Craigslist ad. I turn to my daughter and say, "What the fuck? It's that Craigslist ad number again." Confused as to why they would text again, I start to read the messages, and they're talking about how they can't lie anymore, and how they were at the video store when I was there. He said he was afraid that he would never see me again, and never have the chance to talk to me again. So, he must have been close enough that when I gave my phone number for them to look up my account, he put it in his phone. I don't know if he followed us home or not. I don't even remember seeing the person or who it could have been. I didn't respond. I was out the following weekend with a friend of mine and got a creepy text from the same number at around 2:30 in the morning. I have a cop friend, and he said it's not harassment unless you say stop and they don't. So, when the number texted again, I simply replied stop, and thank God they stopped. The guy would text me about all of his misfortunes in life and his kid almost dying at a resort. It was really strange. He would also talk crazy about thinking I could somehow save his life. People are so strange. The woman at our door. This happened at my old apartment and really freaked me out. I'm not currently living there and I move out soon, so this is the perfect time to tell this story. Back in August of last year, I, a 20-year-old female, was living in the aforementioned apartment with my roommates. I'm a college student, so picture the cheapest, sketchiest, off-campus student housing you can imagine. Due to some prior incidents with an old roommate, we had a doorbell security camera. One night, my roommates and I decided to hang out with some friends. We all came home from their apartment and settled into bed. One of my roommates, Chloe, had her boyfriend over. Her room was the closest to the front door. Chloe was barely drifting off to sleep when her boyfriend heard screaming and yelling coming from the hallway and woke her up. Chloe opened the security camera app and saw something absolutely chilling. A young woman had run up the multiple flights of stairs to our door and started banging on it in a frenzy. She was screaming, "Help me," with an urgency I have never heard before. Next, a man runs into frame, snatches her by the waist, and drags her down the stairs. It seemed violent, like he didn't care if he hurt her. My other roommate, Brooke, walked into my room to wake me up and tell me that we had to call the cops. No one wanted to be alone that night. The first cop walked into our apartment and called for a second police officer, and then a third as we were telling our story. We all sat in our living room, nervous and afraid, explaining to each officer as they came in exactly what happened. Together, they watched the video recording over and over again on full volume in our living room, looking shocked. I can still hear the shrill sound of that poor woman playing on a loop. Eventually, they went downstairs and reported back to us. They found the woman safe in an apartment a few floors down. She was passed out with the man from the video. He told the police that she just got a little too drunk and there were no issues. I don't know about you, but running up to the only doorbell security camera in the entire building, screaming for help, doesn't seem like typical drunk college student behavior. The police did nothing and left. Thankfully, we saw the woman a few days later, and she seemed alright.